Hey everyone, today we're going to review the Enerzen Ozone Emitter. I think it's actually pronounced Enerzen. Yeah, E-N-E-R-Z-E-N. So it's an ozone emitter. So what is an ozone emitter? Why in the world would you ever want one? Well, first of all, make sure you listen to all the cautions on how to use it and when to use it prior to getting one. Second, the reason why you get it is because it gets rid of odors. We've got a shed and it occasionally gets mice in it and they just reek. If you've ever had a dead mouse in a room and you can't find it, it's terrible. Well, this ozone emitter will get rid of the smell. It's amazing. So it does a great job removing odors from rooms. Now, I've not used it for areas where they had smokers or smoke damage, but I've been told it works great for that. So what is an ozone emitter? Well, we're all familiar with oxygen. It's the stuff that we breathe. Ozone is O3. The oxygen we breathe is O2, so it's stable. Ozone is O3, so it's not stable. So when it's in the air, it is very reactive, and it will kind of reach out to the bacteria and the different odors and basically just eliminate that odor. It's the best way I can say it. But there's some problems. Ozone, let me back up. Ozone is the smell that you smell after lightning. So you get a big flash of lightning in the air and you get kind of that fresh scent after a lightning storm. That's ozone, or that's the effect of ozone afterwards. So when you use this, that's kind of how your room smells. But there is a drawback again. One is that it's an irritant for your lungs. So actual active ozone is an irritant for your lungs. It's an irritant for your dog's lungs and your cat's lungs and your bird's lungs. Any kind of pet you have, you got to get them out of the room. Second, plants. Plants will try to take up the ozone as a substitute for oxygen, standard O2 oxygen, and it'll damage your plants. So prior to using an ozone emitter, one, get out of town. Close that room, tape it, don't go in there. And whatever amount of time you have it, say you set it for 2 hours, I wouldn't go in there probably for 12 hours afterwards, or at least 6 hours afterwards. Make sure that you stay clear so that all that ozone has reacted. Ozone is very reactive, so it'll react pretty quickly and it'll clear itself up. But you don't want that in your lungs while it's still active. So clear out the room. Get your pets out of there. Get rid of any plants that you have. Make it so a child's not going to enter the room. Because again, it is an irritant. So how does this work? You simply turn the dial. So you can turn it for the amount of time that you need. And that's going to depend on probably the amount of odor you have and the size of the room. So 30, 60, 90, all the way up to 180. It says whole, I guess maybe it just keeps it on. And I just set it for, I don't know if I can actually turn it back. But anyhow, so that's how you work the dial. It comes out through the generator, so it comes out here. You kind of see the plate right there inside of it, and then it just kind of, you can just hear the dial buzzing along, and that's how it works. You go back in the room, open the doors. If you start to feel a tickle in your lungs, get back out of there. It means that maybe some of the ozone is not reacted, but then you shouldn't smell the odor you had before. Sometimes with mice, I will do a second treatment, and then that definitely clears it up. So it's also good for fabrics. If you have things that can't be dry cleaned, you can do a kind of an ozone zap, and that'll help get rid of the bacteria and the odors that you have in it. So there are actually quite a few uses for these ozone emitters. So, but make sure you know what you're doing, because you don't want to have people in there, and you understand the precautions. So I can't actually recommend it for you, but it is something interesting to think about. So like again, I'm not recommending it. But if you think you can handle it, and you think you can actually, you understand all the cautions and the precautions you have to take, then it might be something you want to look into. But for me, it's a thumbs up.